Hey everybody, what's going on? Cullen here from RPG Sites. If you listen to our podcast, which you totally should, you might know of me from being an occasional guest who likes to scream about Dragon Quest. I was given the opportunity to preview the first 2 hours of the PS4 version of Neo: The World Ends With You, streamed over Parsec. While I was unable to record footage of my own, thankfully we were provided B-roll by Square Enix to use for this video. However, according to the terms set by them, I'm not allowed to just show you the raw, unedited footage. Personally though, I think that works great because talking is both my hobby and basically my career. As quite a big fan of the original game, I was joined by many others in being ravenously excited when a sequel was finally announced. While I was never worried about the state of Neo, I had plenty of questions on how TWUI would make the transition to 3D. And I gotta say, roaming the stylized streets of Shibuya felt unreal. I was thrilled to see the devs used fixed camera perspectives during exploration. Reaching the 104 building and seeing it tower above me was an incredibly cool moment, one that few RPGs depicting this setting have been able to match. The camera glides alongside you in large open areas or snaps away in tight alleyways, relaying a sense of scale to the environments. Scanning has returned as well, and the stark neon pink change in the color of the sky along with the floating words are stunning ways to adapt a mechanic designed around a 2D sprite-based game. One nice addition is that it seems like each party member will be able to interact with the real ground in ways that Rindo can't. Fret, your certified precious best buddy of the game, is the only one whose ability I was able to see during these first 2 hours. He's like a glorified reminder function on your phone, with adorable little hand-drawn images to match. It's really cool. This doesn't sound like much, but my mind is already racing to think of how they can implement it into the game's themes. While I only got a chance to roam a small section of the overall map, I was impressed and left hungry for more. But I'm sure the main thing you want to know about is how do battles work. The combat mechanics of TWUI were always divisive to say the least. Developing for PS4 and Switch meant they had to change up a lot, but I was never able to get an idea on how they planned to do so while just watching trailers. Having the time to mess around with it gave me a much better idea, and while it'll be a bit before I get my hands on the full game, I love the new approach so far. Battles were always the barrier to entry, and now they've been simplified while still maintaining their thematic importance. And I'll be honest, that's a complete assumption on my part. But for a game series about the importance of connections and working together, it fits the mold very well. You equip a pin to each party member, and that pin will set that character's actions to a specific button. It wasn't long until I was flowing right with the rhythm of battles, and the usage of a controller allows you to easily use multiple attacks at once. Pin loadouts seem to be as customizable as they always were, and in this little vertical slice, I felt like I was offered a lot of options on how to build my party. The Gorilla Noise boss battle that ended my experience showed me that mashing away also won't guarantee victory, so it was nice to see that the TWUI formula hasn't been overly simplified. Of course, time will tell how well this new battle system holds up, especially with the game supposedly being around 50 hours long, but even with the limitations of it being streamed to me, I found it to be an incredibly smooth experience. I never saw the game dip below 60 FPS, and while I'm personally looking forward to seeing how the Switch version will hold up, it's nice to know the mechanics are smooth at their core. Okay, let's have a chat, shall we? Wait, how many of you people are there? 2.3 billion? Look, I like to shoot for the stars like anyone else, but let's be realistic here, that's not gonna happen. Let me just say one-on-one. I am 24 years of age. I have never physically been to Japan, and likely will never get the opportunity to do so. However, playing the first 2 hours of Neo has made me feel more like a Japanese teenager than the original World Ends With You ever did. Cliches be damned, I will stick by that stance. Which is saying quite a lot, because I played The World Ends With You when I was at least part of the target demographic. And the sense of immersion I felt didn't come from just the beautifully recreated Shibuya, but also with the character interactions and music. I feel it's worth mentioning, in the time I was given, I wasn't able to get the best idea on what exactly to expect from Neo's story. Mysteries stack on top of each other, and I have more questions than answers. What I am able to confirm, though, is that the writers and localization team have nailed the dialogue. I was frequently stopped in my tracks by hilarious quips from the main cast, and it's immediately apparent just how close the main characters, Rindo and Fret, are with each other because of this. They talk like actual teenagers, which is something you don't see often and is always worth commending. This is only improved with the voice acting, which shows up in abundance compared to the original game. Neo is not fully voiced, but there's still a lot of voice acting in this game. I decided to play with the English voices and loved all of the performances. Some of my favorite lines and stylistic touches were unfortunately not provided to me in the B-roll, but are still worth highlighting. Like, Rindo says the phrase, "love that for you," which made me catch my breath for a good 20 seconds. Also, the characters message each other with Final Fantasy emojis like Moogles, Tonberries, and more. It's amazing. If you were not sold on this game before now, there you go. The charm comes together thanks to the music, putting a perfect bow on the whole package. Twui's music is what is often praised the most about the experience, and it's nice that no expense was spared in producing Neo's OST. If you've heard the trailers already, you could probably get a taste of that for yourself though. The biggest sin of this opportunity was Square Enix only giving me 2 hours, because I really just wanted to stop and drown myself in the vibes. It feels distinct from the original soundtrack while still sounding absolutely Twui. Fans will likely know what I mean, and if you haven't played the original game, well, you'll just have to hear for yourself when the full game comes out. So yeah, overall, I was pretty blown away with the game so far. As someone who's been waiting for a hypothetical World Ends With You 2 for years, this was everything I wanted and more. I'm excited for the full version of the game, and I hope it lives up to my expectations now, which, admittedly, have shot up significantly. If you want to catch more coverage of Neo: The World Ends With You, including the full review we have planned, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter for updates. If you'd like to see more of our written pieces, make sure to also check out rpgsite.net as well. And if for some reason you thought I was pretty cool, I also make YouTube videos of my own, and you can find those at Dr. Cullen, PhD. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Exquisite timing! We got this!